Wait, let me see. Let me see your Michael Jordan jersey. Wow. Do you like your Michael Jordan jersey?
Yeah, I would see here.
Fantasy football can be kind of like buying stuff on Amazon. You think you're buying a Michael Jordan Bulls jersey, and it comes in as a Balls jersey. I got Logan coming over. We're going to sit down and we're going to analyze some trends that we've been seeing in fantasy for the first 4 weeks. So check it out. Hope you guys like it. First on the list I have here is the Carolina offense. So if you guys watched our first video right before week 1, our last video, we talked about who we thought was going to break out. DJ Moore, Sam Darnold. So I think you said DJ Moore top 10?
Top 8.
Top
I think
8.
I said. Sitting
and then
at 5.
Sam Darnold top 7?
Sam Darnold was top 5 or top 8.
Okay.
And then he could produce 2 top 20 wideouts, which was DJ. Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie's not holding up on that.
Right.
But Sam Darnold is.
Yeah, all right. So, you think that's going to continue?
I think it's going to continue. DJ Moore averaging 10 targets per game, 6 catches, 75 yards in every single game at least.
You like that?
Love it. As somebody who's traded for DJ Moore in a league and gotten torn to shreds over it, it's paying off well. Sam Darnold has the most rushing touchdowns so far. That probably doesn't happen.
I was going to say,
anymore.
so you don't think that's going to continue.
That's not going to continue, but 3 straight games over 300 yards, and with CMC, the one game he started and finished, he still threw for 280. So, when he was in New York, Adam Gase could have been holding him back a little bit, same as
a little bit.
Same as Tannehill.
Next on here, you have Steelers. The Steelers have 2.5 viable options. What do you mean by 2.5?
You like Najee.
I like Najee.
You like Deontay. Claypool's kind of a wild card. So if you think Najee, he's been hit behind the line or at the line 70% of the time. 70% of his touches, he's been hit in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage.
It's not good. 70%, that's not good.
Hashtag not good.
No, that's not good.
No.
Would you sell high-ish on Najee Harris right now?
No, because I still think he's an RB1. Big Ben could not throw it further than 5 yards downfield.
Yeah, he's toast.
So it was drop-off after drop-off, and Najee's catching those drop-offs.
So Big Ben's it? That's
Big
it?
Ben's
Put a
toast.
fork in him?
Okay, let me ask you.
You can ask me.
Would you rather have Big Ben or Taylor Heineke?
Heineke.
Tua or Big Ben?
Tua.
Brissett. Yeah. I'm trying to think of terrible quarterbacks.
It's pretty dependent, right? Because here's the deal. Big Ben is going to have games where he drops 30. He's going to have a 30-point game sometime this year. I believe that. Like, he always does that, though, right? Like, he just randomly will come out with, this 30-point game, and he'll throw 5 touchdowns, and it's like, okay, and then he'll go back to being bad again. So, he has that in his bag. So,
but is it in his bag this year? Have you seen anything this year that says he's got that in his bag?
He might be the worst quarterback in football. So you're saying don't sell medium high on Najee Harris?
I'm saying don't sell him because the volume's there.
He almost got 30 PPR fantasy points, but he had 19 targets.
Yeah.
And that's not sustainable. And so that was my thought was, do we sell off of a 30-point game? Someone looks as like, oh, he's the 6th best running back in fantasy football right now in PPR. So would someone pay a lot for him?
He's seen
that's rough.
79% of the snaps as the running back. He's like top 5.
Yeah.
In snap percentages for a running back.
Would you give up Najee Harris to get Ezekiel Elliott? I think that's the litmus test I think that we got to get to here.
See, but the thing with that is there's no Tony Pollard in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so
Tony Pollard has looked better than Zeke in 3 out of 4. I think I hold Najee.
See, I would not. I have Najee in a league and I have Ezekiel Elliott in a league. And I think that having a smaller piece of a bigger offense is more valuable than having a bigger piece of a smaller offense. So it's like the ball, and this is when we're talking about trending, right? Somebody has, a 30% target share, but they play on the Baltimore Ravens versus somebody who has a 20% target share on,
The Panthers.
The Panthers who are throwing a ton, right? Yeah. I think I would rather take Zeke at this point. Now, it's not by much, but I would rather take Zeke even with Pollard there because he has a smaller piece of I think the Dallas Cowboys are a really good offense.
Yeah.
Big Ben's hard to watch. It's a tough
to watch. I'll tell you what else is hard to watch.
Tell me.
Tony Pollard has the same amount of touches as Miles Sanders does.
One of the last things I said on our preseason video was that Miles Sanders does not stink.
He doesn't.
I don't think he does.
He doesn't.
The Eagles think he stinks.
The Eagles think he stinks.
Let's look next on the list.
Okay. Washington, bad. Terry McLaurin can produce. I'm not sure.
Heineke, yes. Okay, all the analysts and everything were saying, okay, so Ryan Fitzpatrick is out, so now your team is screwed.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about that sentence, like, he's going for it, man.
He's slinging it.
As a Terry McLaurin owner in a league, I have been very, very happy because I was really thinking about trading him after the trade to try to get something out of him before he started performing badly with Heineke.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. So talk about the discrepancy between McKissick and Gibson.
There isn't any. They were both converted wide receivers. The difference is McKissick's a better pass blocker. That's why he's on the field.
And he can also catch. I was in agreement with you. We said it on the preseason episode. I was with you on Gibson.
Yeah.
But yes, I think fine RB2.
He's fine.
A fine, like
Which
maybe
I bought him as my RB1 and Swift as my RB2, and now it's reversed.
And and that's what happens. Yes.
Lucked out.
Which brings me to my point, is that in general, fantasy football is stupid.
It is very stupid.
Really dumb.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Because
that's why I've never won.
You have to I feel like and that's why I was talking about the offenses in general. You have to adapt so quickly because you got 3 in a row bad games. You've got to be ready to just move on right away.
Yeah.
Detroit is bad.
Detroit's bad. Atlanta's bad. Ridley will produce eventually. The opportunity's there.
Tell me, speak life into this because I really need this to happen.
Somebody's going to produce. It's never going to be Cordero Patterson except for 1 week.
So that is ending. You don't think that's a trend? You think that is...
He's been on 5 teams in his 10 years in the league. No.
Okay. Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Talk about Deebo Samuel.
Not buying it. Right? So, he has a 34% target share after 4 weeks.
That's a lot.
Only Brandon Cooks, Devontae Adams,
makes sense,
and Cooper Kupp have more. Mm-hmm. And also, George Kittle has sucked. So the defense has taken away George Kittle. Mm-hmm. I think it's been at least 2 busted coverages that Deebo has.
And that makes a big
on.
difference. So we're talking trends. This is 4 weeks in, right? 2 games with a busted coverage. Trey Lance almost underthrows him enough to where he gets caught up with.
Yeah.
But yes, 2 busted coverages for huge touchdowns.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking in a 4-game sample size. We're talking about over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That makes a huge difference for a 4-game sample size.
Yeah.
So you don't think that continues?
No. And Ayuk's been in the doghouse, and he's slowly starting to come out.
Bobby Woods. Go ahead. Take the floor.
So if you look compared this year to last year, right? So if you're a Robert Woods owner, you're freaking out a little bit. Compared to last year, he has 1 less target.
At the same point.
This year, 4 games in. He has 2 less catches versus last year.
That's not much different.
He has 57 less yards.
A little different.
And he has 1 more touchdown.
He has 1 more touchdown this year than he did. 1 more touchdown
this year than he did last year.
He's never been a huge touchdown guy.
No. And then I just read a report that McVay said, you know what, that's on me. We're going to work to get him more involved.
So, buy low on
I would.
Robert Woods.
I would. Squeaky wheel always gets the grease.
Yeah.
And he's been squeaking.
Yeah. I think that I liked Robert Woods a lot more. I think a lot of people did. I think, here's the trouble. I think the people who have Robert Woods, I don't know what it is. To get Robert Woods, you have to be a certain kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, people don't draft Robert Woods.
Well, he's in the not sexy group.
I feel like every time I'm in a fantasy draft, when someone drafts Robert Woods, I'm like, oh, that person's smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that it might be harder than you think to buy low on Robert Woods because that person that owns Robert Woods in your league is usually the Robert Woods guy.
Yeah.
Right? And they're probably talking about the same thing that we are.
Yeah.
So but yes, try to buy low on Robert Woods. All right. Real quick, we had rapid fire. There are 3 that our league brought up. George Kittle, will he get better?
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown, is he a wide receiver 2? Is he going to continue being a wide receiver 2 for the rest of the year?
It looks like it. It looks like Lamar can throw.
I would say if he can catch, then yes, I agree. Hollywood Brown.
If he caught all those passes in Detroit, it's game over.
Oh yeah.
And he couldn't catch. He just couldn't catch.
Pittsburgh.
They're done.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, they're done.
Well, that's it. Thank you, sir. This is it. I don't know when we're going to do another one of these, but this is week 4. We're looking at just the general perspective of where fantasy football is heading. Hopefully you guys liked this. Catch you later, Loaf. That's it.